Hey, what's up, everybody? Listen, if you have not heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Yeah, I got your attention now, right? Number two, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Number three, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Number four, you can make money from your podcast. That's right. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum viewership. Number five, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So right now, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, everybody? My name is Cliff, and you are listening to the What Now Podcast. That's right, the What Now Podcast, where we, through conversation, discuss ways that we can effectively address life's most difficult moments. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's episode. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the What Now Podcast. That's right, the What Now Podcast, where we discuss effective ways of addressing life's most, air quotes, difficult moments. And we understand that those difficult moments can be identified as defining moments, and not moments that we allow to define us, but moments that we understand we have the power, the authority, and the right to define those moments in our lives. I appreciate you guys. I see the numbers. I know you're listening. I encourage you to please continue to share the podcast. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family, with your loved ones, with your boo, with your side piece, with your enemy. Share it with everybody so that everybody can hear the podcast and continue to give me love, continue to give me feedback, continue to give me all of that. Again, if it's any subject you would like me to cover or something you want to talk to me personally about, you can email me at info@cliftonpettyjohn.com. Again, info@cliftonpettyjohn.com. So listen, I hadn't even planned on recording tonight. I just got off the air. I was doing a interview on Transformation Radio. If you guys aren't familiar with Transformation Radio, make sure you visit www.transformationradio.info, and you spell transformation TRANS, the number 4, then Mation radio.info. If that's too confusing for you, visit my website www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. There's a tab there for it. So I did an interview tonight, and I'm just sitting here listening to the rain hitting the roof. That's so calming to me. I don't know about you guys, but it is calming to me, and it is so peaceful. And in the times that we're living in, it's so easy to get caught up in everything that's going on, and we have to search even more for things that represent peace to us. But guys, I just had one of the greatest experiences of my life, and to some people it may not be that big of an experience. Oh well, it is for me. I mean, so what? Now I'm playing, but it is for me. I just got off the air, as I said, with one of our guests. And have you ever had a conversation? And if you know me, I'm big on conversation. I'm very big on conversation. I do not like meaningless, empty conversation. I love conversation that's full of purpose. And when I'm talking about full of purpose, I mean the conversation is going somewhere. I'm not saying we just have to be sit and hold a serious conversation. As a matter of fact, I love to talk about sports. I love to talk about life. I love to joke and play, all of those things. But in the midst of it, I always feel like if you're going to have a conversation, you ought to leave with something. Whenever anybody approaches me and we're having a conversation or there's any type of exchange going on, or we have to be together for a certain period of time, I pray daily that God, the people that you place in my life, regardless of the time that they experience with me, let their testimony be that once they were in my presence, they left greater than when they came to me. That's my prayer constantly. Like, it's not anything that I attempt to overdo or anything like that. I just am me. One of the greatest lessons I learned in life, and I wish I had learned it earlier in life, learned this in my 30s. Just be you. You don't have to be anybody else. The greatest level of freedom and joy, and to me deliverance and healing, is when you learn to authentically be who you are. And you don't worry about what others will think. You don't worry about what others will say, how they'll receive you. You understand the most important thing is that you receive you. Okay? Now, I don't know how we went there, but nevertheless, I just got off, you know, an interview with an amazing guest, guys, an amazing guest. But we were talking about conversation. We were having this conversation. I was listening to her talk about what she was called and created to do. And I kind of zoned out a little bit. I listened to everything she said, and the things I missed, I'll go listen to the replay. But it was igniting something inside of me that I had kind of put on the back burner, or kind of forgotten about as it related to the ministry that was in my life. Like, all of you, we're all in this pandemic, and there's times we're having the greatest moments of self-reflection, even when we don't want to have those moments of self-reflection. It's so much time for us just to deal with us, and I talk very freely about how I was an emotional and a physical and a spiritual and a psychological runner. And times like this, we can't run. We can't run. We're in that room by ourselves, in that home by ourselves, and we're having more time by ourselves than we ever had. And it's causing us to do some internal work. And I really believe that that's something, if you're going to be great at anything, and we all are wired and designed to be great. I don't care what your upbringing was. I don't care what it is you went through. I don't care about the decisions that you made that were not that great. We all were destined to be great. There is purpose inside of each and every one of us. But if we're ever gonna reach those levels and dimensions of greatness, then there are some realities that we have to come to. And one of those realities I came to while I was right there on the show is that although I'm doing this great work, and God is blessing the work that I'm doing, there are parts of what I've been created to do that I've abandoned. And some of those things have been abandoned because of certain things I just didn't want to face in my life. And no matter how great people receive what I do and all of those great things, I will never be fulfilled internally. I will never reach success internally until I do it the way that I was called, created, and designed to do. And this whole episode, and I know when I put it out, it's going to be a blessing to everybody. And I'm talking about the radio show right now. But tonight's radio show was for me. It was for me. It was a reminder for me exactly what it is that I have been called and designed to do, and how strange and weird God wired me. And I've embraced it. I got a t-shirt that's about to come out. It talks about I'm weird, and there's an acronym that goes along with it. I'm not going to release that acronym yet, because when I release the t-shirt, I'm going to release it, through a podcast episode. But I'm weird. And I thought about that for years. I tried so hard to prove that I was not something that I was. Have you ever done that before? You spent so many years trying to prove to everybody that you were not something that you actually were. And the reason why is because you didn't think it was okay to be that. I didn't think it was okay to be weird. I didn't think it was okay to be different. I fought my difference. I fought what the creator used to make me unique. You get what I'm saying? The things that he used to make me unique, I fought them. I hated them. I did not want that in my life. I always saw it as he could have done it this way, from my looks to my voice. Now, can y'all believe that I hate my voice? I get so many compliments about it. I think I talked about this on the show before too. I get so many compliments about my voice. And the reality is, I just started liking my voice. I did not like my voice. My looks, I constantly get compliments about my looks. And, I do know that I look good. However, there's some things that I would like to see changed with my looks. I get that. You know what I'm saying? But there's things that God, when I look in the mirror and I think about how he's called, how he created, how he designed me, even how I think, my process of thinking, my process of executing things, my process of caring and loving. And guys, that was something I wrestled hard with because a lot of my friends over the years don't understand my process and the love that I have for people and the patience that I've had for certain people. And if you're not careful in knowing who you are out of love, friends and family members will have you severing connections with individuals that it may not be meant for you to sever. Now, I'm not talking about like where it's like toxic, and you're wrapped up in it, you're being abused physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. You're being abused. But I'm talking about where God has given you a level of grace to love individuals through certain things that other people don't understand. And if you're not careful, you'll seek counsel from people that just don't have that measure or extension of grace that you have. And before you know it, you'll find yourself modifying your behavior and accepting an alternate personality and approach and viewpoint of situations that you have to fight to get back to who you are. And if you got to fight to get back to who you are, I encourage you to fight to get back to who you are. And if you're having those thoughts and you're having those struggles, even internally within you, and you're like, Cliff, I don't even know how to fight to get back to me, reach out to me, text me in all caps, help with an exclamation mark. You know what I'm saying? To 302-648-5544. If you don't want to text me, email me at info@cliftonpettyjohn.com. And in the subject, just put help. And then in the body, just write help as many times as you need to write it, because I want us all to get through this thing together. I did not create a podcast just for you to listen to me. I want to interact with you. As a coach, as a spiritual leader, as a strategist, I want to be there with you along your journey so we can celebrate together. There's something about togetherness. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm an introvert. So to be honest with you, the pandemic hasn't really affected me much. I don't like to go out much, honestly. But where it has affected me is I do like to hug. Now, I'm not a big hugger. But if I connect with you on that level, I do like to hug, because I know that there's energy that is exchanged through touch, through conversation, and through my presence. I know energy can be exchanged, and I know sometimes people need that energy, and sometimes I need that energy. So that part I do miss, but other than that, I really don't miss too much of anything, because, like I said, I really don't go anywhere. But anyway, I just wanted to get on and encourage you to have the conversations that you need to have, and have conversations with the right people. As a conversationalist, I experience it all the time, where me sitting and listening to individuals or talking to individuals unlocks uh, dimensional thoughts and dimensional processes and dimensional actions within them. However, I experience that sometimes, but tonight I experienced it in a way spiritually that I haven't experienced it in a while. So my encouragement to you is stop fighting whoever it is that you need to have a conversation with. Maybe it's me you need to have a conversation with. I'm easy to talk to, yo. What's up? Why y'all not trying to talk to me? Like, I'm really easy to talk to. I That is something that God has graced me with. But if you want to reach out, feel free. But if it's whoever it is that you need to reach out to them. Now, if you are on a stalker level, don't reach out to the one that you're stalking. You do not need to talk to them. You need to talk to somebody to help you get through that, to understand that you can have a mutual stalking situation with somebody. You don't need to stalk somebody that just isn't feeling you. You ever seen that movie? Is it He's Just Not Into You or She's Just Not Into You? Let's have a conversation so we can get on the right path and we'll start making decisions that are beneficial for us, our purpose, our family, and this world, guys. All right? So thank you for tuning in on tonight. I pray that something was said that, doesn't just inspire you, but it provokes you to action and provokes you to understanding the greatness that is inside of you. You may not fully understand the greatness, but I want you to, every time you listen to me, gain a greater understanding of the greatness that's inside of you. As I always say, create a great day, walk with purpose, and by all means, execute your vision. Peace. Can you identify any areas in your life where stagnation is manifesting? Now, I know some of you might say, no, I can't. Well, I want us to look at stagnation for what it really is. Some people have identified stagnation as something that's not growing or that's not producing. I don't believe that's stagnation. To me, stagnation can also be that yes, we're growing, yes, we're producing. However, we're growing and producing in a manner that's disrespectful to the purpose and the greatness that resides inside of us. And listen, we all have areas where we can identify that we could be doing a lot better in. There's greater potential in those areas than we are experiencing. And guess what? I have a tool that will help you begin to experience transformation in those areas of stagnation in your life. And that tool is called From Stagnation to Transformation. That's right. That is my book, From Stagnation to Transformation. So I want you to head over to my website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. I want you to hit there. I want you to hit the Transformation tab. There you're going to find a free preview of my book. That's right, a free preview of my book. And I promise you, after you read the preview, you're going to want to invest in your personal transformation through purchasing the book. So again, head over there, purchase the book. Let me know you purchased it. Here's what I always say, guys. If you purchase the book, you read the book, you apply the principles in your life, and yet you still are stagnant in the areas that you are applying them to, and you're not experiencing any transformation, and you can prove to me that you have applied these principles, I will give you a 100% refund. That's right, a 100% refund. Why? Because I believe in the application of the principles that are outlined in this book. So again, visit www.cliftonpettyjohn.com and purchase your copy of From Stagnation to Transformation.